Sometimes when we work with children, we find that those children are resistant to change. And it could come from a number of different sources. Maybe it's anger or pride or just being self-focused. But in the midst of all of that, they have this hard time making changes. Now, the Bible calls this resistance a hard heart. And this hard heart is a real challenge. Now, you can use a number of tools to bring about change in the life of a child. Most of the time, it's going to require some form of firmness, because firmness says we're not going to live this way anymore. We're going to practice a new way of living. And so we're not going to have anger episodes. Instead, we're going to bring about a plan for reducing the anger that you have inside. Or maybe it's the pride that we're going to look for ways for you to demonstrate humility. And so we're going to do training using firmness. That's often a very important tool. So we don't want to miss that, and we're probably going to use that. But one of the ways that the heart softens is through relationship. So just keep that in mind. Often when parents first come to us, their child's got all kinds of challenges, and we're trying to help that child make changes. And one of the first things we say is, let's try to strengthen the relationship. And many parents assume that, well, I have a relationship with this child lives in my house. But there's this emotional connectedness that may be lacking. And when we connect emotionally with that child, then often that heart starts to soften inside of that child. And so this relationship becomes very helpful. One mom said, my child was angry and I would send him to his room. But now when he gets angry, I say, hey, come on over here. Let me hold you for a minute and let's soften your anger. Let's get rid of some of that energy. And some children are not responsive to touch at all when they're angry. But this child responded to that and was able to then relax. And mom used relationship instead of firmness in that case to help her son self-regulate. So there are ways that we can use this idea of relationship. I think one of the biggest ones is comfort. Where there's comfort, a child who's angry, or we're coming in and stepping into the situation. Sometimes we want to solve the problem, and maybe our child just needs more comfort to be able to handle this challenge that they're dealing with. So what we're trying to do is look for ways to use relationship as a tool, because relationship is so valuable. I think we need to pray every day as we're working with our children. We need to pray the Ezekiel 36:26 prayer. It says this: I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit in you. I will remove from your heart of stone, from you, your heart of stone, and give you a heart of flesh. You see, what God is saying there through the prophet Ezekiel is that I'm going to do something inside of you. It's not just about outward behavior. It's not just about dealing with your anger on the externals or helping you to be humble externally. There's something going on inside. And so this prayer and you can pray this with your child. Lord, I just pray that you'd give Billy a soft heart, so he's responsive to me, responsive to you, responsive to others. You see, when that takes place inside of a child's life, often there's this joy that they can experience and peace that they can have and love that they can have, all fruit of the Spirit. But it often requires this humility inside of a child to respond. And when you respond to the Lord, he gives you this grace. And grace often comes in this form of a soft heart. So I would say look for ways to embrace relationship. The reason we do relationship is one of our 7 tools in the coaching program. We emphasize relationship because relationship softens the heart. So we're continually looking for ways that the heart might be soft so that the child can receive the firmness, which is another one of the tools. Or can receive the visioning that we're doing with this child. That's another tool. Each tool represents a way that God works with us in our lives, and we want our children to experience those same kinds of things through us. So we're teaching them how to do that and what that looks like. So when you think about the child's heart, think about softening the heart. And I'll take you to some other tools besides the ones maybe you're using. Relationship is going to be a key element in that for you to practice.